Good afternoon and good day from wherever you're listening and watching to us live from. Welcome to this special broadcast where we commemorating and observing a very solemn October the 7th, a day that changed the world forever, a day that changed the landscape of the Middle East forever. And as we mark the 1 year anniversary of this horrific, genocide that's ongoing, a genocide that shattered so many lives in Palestine, I personally find myself reflecting on the weight of this moment, not only as a journalist, but as a human being. So you stay with us here on Salam Media as we continue to bring you live coverage and really, really insightful and important conversations to be had as we continue to commemorate October the 7th. And joining me in a bit, I'll be speaking to Farwina Faroque. She's a pro-Palestine activist based in Kuala Lumpur in Malaysia, and she's joining us via a virtual platform. And we'll be, just having a conversation about the events of the year that was, and from an activist point of view, how she reflects on October the 7th, 12 months on. Farwina, thank you so much for joining us. Welcome to Salam Media. Really appreciate you giving us your time.
Yeah, thank you for having me.
Very, very, somber day. Today essentially, I think, painted, a way forward to each and every action that we are seeing happening right now. From your point of view, how do you reflect on October the 7th, 12 months on?
Yeah, first and foremost, I can't believe that we are still living and watching and witnessing the ongoing genocide in Gaza. And I feel like at this year and time and age, we have the technology, almost everyone is educated, but this is still happening. This is like we are so backward, so
Mm,
what in a way, whatever that happened in Gaza, it did bring new people, new perspective, like they unlearn and they relearn on whatever they have information about what is the colonization in Palestine, in a way. Yeah, but in what expense? So many Palestinians has been murdered, many has been displaced, schools, hospitals, everything has been destroyed, and this is still happening. So yeah, that's this and that. As an activist, more people are opening their eyes and wanted to learn and getting more information about what's going on. But also, it's devastating that this is still happening. 1 year,
mm, mm.
ridiculous.
No, very, very ridiculous. I think, this is literally the first time where we are seeing a genocide being broadcasted live on our television screens. We watch it on social media each and every day, but it just seems there's no ending to it. But as activists, what are some of the ways that you had to change the way that you go about doing your work and advocating for the people of Palestine in the past year, since October the 7th until now? How did you have to change your approach to make sure that your message reaches those that it needs to reach, and the governments, especially, of the different countries that all the activists are in, since October the 7th? How has the work of activists morphed to what it is now?
Yeah. So I can mostly talk in the context of being a Malaysian. So Malaysia is a country we do not recognize Israel. So I'm from Boycott, Divestment, Sanction Organization, BDS movement. So
Mm-hmm.
Malaysia as a country already doing the sanction part, the biggest part. And then and the government, even it doesn't matter who is the ruling government in Malaysia, the policy will be always towards supporting Palestine. So that's that. But saying that, even though the majority of Malaysian support the cause of Palestine, what I learned is that many still do not understand what's this about. So many still have the misinformation, more of like fitting with the hasbara that the Zionists trying to put this is Muslim versus Jew when this is more than just that. And also like they're just doing this emotionally. Like it's easy to be emotional when you see all this because that's normal, right? You see children, women, men dying and everything, so it's easy to be emotional. But also they mostly, I would say in general, people do not understand in Malaysia. People do not understand the context of what is happening in Palestine, the ongoing colonization, the still standing colonization project that we're still having to witness in this world. And because majority of Malaysians are Muslim, so it's easy for them to support Palestine, but also at the same time, they are neglecting the Palestinian Christian, Palestinian Jews, like other regions in Palestine. And the shocking thing is that I found out last year while I was discussing with my relatives who are very concerned of my safety. They were saying that Israel are attacking Gaza because they wanted to destroy Masjid al-Aqsa.
Mm.
And Masjid al-Aqsa is not located in Gaza, and they were shocked. So this is like the limited information people have in Malaysia about Palestine. They do not understand the geographical context, location-wise, and everything. But they do support Palestine. so
Mhm.
so and that. Since last year, I found out this that people don't really understand what's going on in Palestine. It's just emotional support. Yeah.
Um, with that being said, do you feel like you had to do, um, you know, hand in hand with the activism, you had to do a lot more education since October the 7th so that people understand, the depth of, the situation in Palestine and historically where it stems from?
Yeah, so we do, Alhamdulillah, because we recognize this and we do discuss with other organizations in Malaysia because in Malaysia there are lots of other organizations that are more, famous than us. So we do go to them and we talk to them, and Alhamdulillah, like even though there are many organizations in Malaysia, most of these organizations they are willing to come together and discuss and see like how can we work together, how can we improve this. So most of them are already like what we say, correcting the narrative so that
Mm,
everyone gets the clear message and educating everyone. So they use their platform, they go to their members through education. And we BDS Abusa, we are using social media to educate others about the geographical area of Palestine, about our campaign, obviously. Yeah. So yeah, that's that. So we do talk with each other, various organizations in Malaysia, and we come with like how can we go through this, like what situation they are and how can we overcome this. So that's that. Yeah,
mm.
alhamdulillah.
Mm, mm, mm. You mentioned something, the fact that Malaysia is a very pro-Palestine country. They're very in support of the movement and of calling out Israel as a genocidal state. But I think this year I've been reading a lot of reports of activists being arrested in Malaysia. How's the situation like? How do you able to do your work with those kind of restrictions? Or maybe my question should be, are there restrictions to the activism, to the activism work in Malaysia?
Yeah, that is the confusing part because that is just recent and we're not sure why. And those activists that got arrested, they didn't break any law. So that is the confusion part. And of course, like they got released, alhamdulillah, but that this is still not okay. Even like some got, I would say, harassed by the authority for still abiding by the law. So it's quite confusing in that sense. But so far there's no like serious cases. We do call them out for the like harassment while just using our rights for freedom of speech and to assemble public assembly and those kind of thing. We do comply by the law, and we do call the authority out for this. And so far there's no like serious cases has been recorded, but saying that we also do not want this to, it's like to normalize this, like harassing
Mm,
people out of nothing, like no one is breaking the law. Like
mm,
BDS is a peaceful movement, so we do not agree with anything that is aggressive, breaking the law. So we will not be behind organizations or individuals that are doing this while breaking the law, obviously. But when people are abiding by the law and still getting arrested, so this is like ridiculous. And yeah, we will call this out. We have called this out before, and we will do so if this happens again in the future. But so far, alhamdulillah, there's no serious cases, alhamdulillah. Yeah.
Mm, mm, mm. Um, I've been noticing, particularly on social media, that it almost feels like there's a sense of the world being desensitized, with regards to what's happening in Palestine, because it's been going on for so long, and it has been reported so much that it's human nature that is going to get to a point where um, it feels like normal. Every day when you wake up, you switch on your TV, it's just numbers, stats, of the people that have been killed or those that are buried under the rubble. From an activist point of view, how can we try and mitigate the desensitization of what's currently happening in Palestine? Because if we do, then we are playing in the hands of this
Yeah.
Israeli genocidal machine. That's what they want. That's what they're hoping for, until to a point where they've literally, turned Gaza and the people of Gaza into nothingness.
Yeah. So we noticed this too. We saw this, and first thing, like we, what is the word, like we acknowledge that everyone like have their own limits to everything, which is
Mm,
normal, and we are living in a whole different world than the Palestinian in Gaza or in West Bank are living. So it's like it's easy to just kind of feel like it's okay, they get through it. And also in Malaysia, that's a thing where, because the majority of Malaysians are Muslim, and we have been taught that the Palestinians that are being murdered, they are martyred, shaheed. So there are also a group of people that are saying, it's okay, this is shaheed. But
mm,
no, Palestinians do not want this too. They feel the pain, they bleed, they hurt. So this is not okay. So what we do discuss this too, and what we do in most, like even different organization, we continue talking about this and reminding people that this is not normal, this has to stop. And that, like everyone should learn and to know that Palestinians are human too. They also feel pain, they also hurting, they also want normal life. My best friend is still in Palestine, in Gaza right now, and she also wanted to just complain about all the petty things. So we talk about this. We try to make majority of Malaysian understand that they are human too. So
mm.
so that's what we've been trying to do. Education, continuously talking about it. Social media, a various group of NGOs going to their members and talking about this. Yeah.
Mm, mm. And one thing that you guys did today, in observing and commemorating 1 year since October the 7th, you submitted protest notes to the U.S. Embassy. Can you maybe just let us in on that protest action, and what was it all about, and what was contained in those notes?
Yeah, so that is submitted by a coalition of women, Malaysian women NGO in Malaysia that supports liberation of Palestine and Al-Quds. So it's a group effort, and Alhamdulillah, I got selected to be one of those who get to hand the protest note. So we did hand this protest note last year when
Mm,
this all started, and then we handed it again this year, and I feel like sad, like we are doing the same thing all over again you know and the protest note is about calling out US for abating and aiding the genocide that is happening in Palestine, in Gaza, in West Bank, and also has been expanded to Beirut in Lebanon, and also in Iran even. So
mm,
we are calling out the United States, the President of the United States of America, for doing this, for allowing this to happen, for misusing their veto power, messing with a lot of things in UN and everything, and just like ignoring whatever ICJ is calling, and also like not only supporting, backing up Israel, the regime, also funding them financially, which is ridiculous, and making excuses after excuses, like just to allow these atrocities to continue to happen. So basically, that's the context of the protest memo, like we want them to stop this from continuing to happen. We want them to know that we see this and we are not okay with this, and they shouldn't be okay with this too. Yeah.
Mm, mm, mm. And one of the most impactful ways I think that one can do is obviously BDS, boycotting and divestments. And I think it's one aspect that I think here in South Africa we understand really well, because during apartheid, one of the ways that that regime was able to be collapsed was through boycotts and countries not investing in South Africa anymore. Do you think in this generation there's a deeper understanding of just how powerful boycotting is? It can be something as simple as just products. There's like long lists of products that are essentially funding this genocide, and that need and have to be boycotted. But it's just, it doesn't feel like people get it. It doesn't feel like they understand that when you buy whatever product you're buying, a portion of your money goes directly into bombing Palestinian children. Why do you think that message is not landing? The fact that something as simple as just boycotting a product or a service from a particular company could have a big impact.
Yeah. First and foremost, I feel ashamed and small to talk to you about, BDS movement, because it is inspired by the success of ending the apartheid in South Africa, and yeah. So I think, in my point of view, people are learning and understanding more of this movement. Maybe I'm living in my bubble. I'm not sure, but yeah, I'm
Mm,
seeing a lot of more effort done by the consumers, and not only just what we listed in our list, because our list is very small because it's a strategic boycotting, and
mhm,
people are expanding it to like cultural boycotting. We do not have list of cultural boycotting. Cultural boycotting is basically like calling out celebrities or artists, cultural part that are clearly supporting Zionism, not just being silenced, but they are actually like promoting Zionism. So that's that. And there are also a lot of, I would say, successful story. Even recently, last year, I think, G4S has moved out from Israel, which
mm,
is in our list because our list is very small, right? And then Intel, even though they're still in our list, they didn't. They canceled to build a very big factory in Palestine. It's actually occupied Palestine, but the money will go to Israel. So they canceled that, even though they still have the big factory in Israel or Palestine actually. But the new factory has been canceled. Cancelled. So that's that. And also celebrities who are being called out. What is it called? I forgot. Block list, right? So
mhm,
that's that. That is the like normal people effort to call out celebrities to do cultural boycott. So to me, I see a lot more people making effort that they are learning about this. They know how it works, and they come up with their list, and also like supporting whatever we have in our list. And people need to understand this regime, they understand money.
mm.
So to make them stop, to make them see that it will not be benefiting them with money, those kind of things. So that's how it is. Yeah.
Mm, mm, mm. And I think we are obviously commemorating October the 7th, but the situation has worsened in Palestine and in Gaza. What do you think from an activist point of view, from the common person on the ground? We've seen the efforts of the first year. Going forward, what more can be done, to further spread the message, to further try and impact, a meaningful change, and making sure that this conversation doesn't lose steam? Because once it does and it's quiet, I think even here in Africa, I can tell you for sure, because the continent has been ravaged with instability for so long.
Yeah.
There are ongoing wars right now that people don't even know about, because they've been going on for such a long time. So this has been going on for a year, longer, but the events of October the 7th have carried us to this year. Going forward, the next year, um, what more can be done by people?
Yeah, so people need to understand that the focus now is to end the ongoing genocide. So the that will be the short-term focus. To we need to do more. We need to speak up. We need to learn. We need to know that we do have the power. We, the commoners, we do have the power in this. We do have the say. Like if your government are still having ties with Israel, pressure them to stop having ties with Israel. Diplomatic ties only allow them to do even more. It's like an enabler, enabling them. So you know your rights.
Mm,
Do more. Pressure your government if they still have ties with Israel, and on your part, you can do the strategic boycotting. If it's like having the full list is too much, go to BDS list. It's very small list. It's very practical, and it's proven working because we do have like group of researchers going through the list and making sure, okay, this company are truly like directly complicit with the oppression of Palestinian. So that's one of the many things. And of course, they need money, they need donation for now, but make sure you donate it to the right individual, to the right organization, because people do take advantage, like it or not. Yeah, they do that. So make sure you know
mm.
that too. Educate yourself, and again, like believe that we do have the power in this. We might not be politician, we might not have role in UN, ICJ, but we are the people, and we have to work together to make sure this ends. We do have the power.
Yeah, I think we're going to leave it on that very, very important note. Stating the fact that we have the power. The people and the masses, peace-loving, justice-seeking people. We are the ones with actual power. Farwina, we're going to leave it here for now. Thank you so much for giving us your time. And I'm sure you and I will be chatting in the not so distant future.
Inshallah. Thank you so much. Assalamualaikum.
Walaikum salam. That was Farina Farouk coming to us live from Kuala Lumpur. And yeah, from an activist point of view, just dissecting the events of the last 12 months since October the 7th. We are 12 months in since then. And there's been so much that has been happening from an activist point of view. I think, she mentioned something really, really important. The fact that we are the ones with the power ultimately, whether it's voicing out, against our governments, if we feel they are complacent with this genocide, or if it's with boycotting certain products, that means you directly can influence the change. And the people of Gaza and the people of Palestine need that change now more than ever. The time for lip service, and just tweeting on social media, and not doing anything tangible, meaningful. I think that time is over. And yeah, all of us need to do more. We're going to take a quick break. When we come back, the special broadcast commemorating October the 7th continues right here on Salam Media.